She was just lying there. A little girl, no more than 6, curled up on the cold cement, her tiny fingers wrapped around a tattered stuffed bunny. Cars passed. People walked by. Some looked. Most didn't. But everything stopped. The traffic, the noise, even time, when a dog did something no one expected. It was early morning in the heart of the city, where buildings stretch tall and people walk fast. Officer Maria Jensen was on her usual K9 patrol shift with her partner Max, a 6-year-old Belgian Malinois known for his discipline, sharp instincts, and quiet strength. They were nearing the end of their morning route when Max stopped dead. In his tracks, his ears pricked, eyes narrowed on something across the street. Before Maria could respond, Max pulled on his leash with unusual urgency and darted forward, crossing the street despite the cars. On the sidewalk, tucked beside a newspaper stand, was the girl. Pale-faced, silent, and shivering, she looked like she hadn't eaten in days. Her clothes were dirty, her hair matted. The stuffed animal clutched in her arms was missing one eye. She didn't cry. She didn't even move, until Max did something that would be remembered by everyone who saw it. He didn't bark. He didn't sniff. He simply walked up to her slowly, sat down beside her, and gently laid his head on her lap. And that's when the little girl started to cry. Not out of fear, but out of something deeper? Relief. Maria hurried across the street, alert but cautious. As she knelt beside Max and the girl, she saw something in the child's eyes that made her heart ache. Complete exhaustion, emotional and physical. Max stayed perfectly still, his head still resting on her as if shielding her from the world. He wouldn't move, wouldn't leave. "I think she trusts him," Maria whispered. Emergency services were called, but no one could get near the girl. Not social workers, not medics, unless Max was with her. It was as if the dog had adopted her as his own. The bond formed in seconds, but its strength was unshakable. Her name was Laya. She was 6. She had been missing for 3 days. Laya had wandered from home after a fight broke out between her parents. Scared and confused, she'd tried to go back to her grandmother's house, her safe place, but got lost. She had spent 2 nights sleeping, under bus stops and behind dumpsters, clutching her bunny. Too afraid to talk to strangers, too young to know where to go, she just stayed hidden, until Max found her. As the investigation unfolded, Maria discovered that Lila's home wasn't just unstable. It was dangerous. Her parents were under investigation for neglect and possible abuse. Authorities couldn't get much out of Laya. She barely spoke. But whenever Max was with her, she smiled, even laughed. He was her shield in a world that had only hurt her. That night, Maria took a bold step. She asked to foster Laya temporarily until authorities could find a proper home. But even as she asked, she knew, deep down, that Laya had already found her family. Challenges followed. Laya had severe night terrors. She refused to sleep in beds, choosing instead to curl up on the floor beside Max. She barely ate. She flinched at sudden noises. It broke Maria's heart to see such fear in someone so small. But Max never wavered. Every time Laya screamed in the night, Max was there. Every time she backed into a corner, Max would gently press against her, grounding her. He became more than a service dog. He was her therapy, her anchor, her protector. One day, during a routine walk through the park, a man tried to snatch Lila's bunny from her hands, thinking it was trash. Laya froze. Max didn't. With a low growl and calm precision, he stood between Laya and the man, letting out a sharp, clear bark that sent the man retreating without a word. That was the day the city realized Max wasn't just a working dog. He was something more. A silent guardian for a broken child. Maria worked tirelessly to rebuild Lila's trust. She enrolled her in therapy, used playtime with Max to help Laya open up, and created a safe, consistent routine. Slowly, the little girl who once trembled at shadows began to dance in sunlight. She learned to tie her shoes again. She drew pictures of Max, always Max, with hearts all around. She laughed. She sang lullabies to her bunny. She started calling Maria Mom. 1 year later, Maria officially adopted Lila. And Max, he was right there during the ceremony wearing a bow tie on, his collar and a badge of honor around his neck. The judge, overwhelmed with emotion, bent down to thank him personally. Max licked his hand and rested beside Lila during the whole proceeding, as if to say, "This is where I belong." That image of a once-lost girl smiling beside a dog who refused to leave her side spread across social media like wildfire. The story hit news outlets, and thousands wrote letters to Maria and Lila. But the most repeated line in every comment was the same. "I wish I had a dog like that," because it wasn't just about a rescue. It was about loyalty, about healing, about the silent power of a dog who saw through the pain and decided not to walk past it. Max retired from official canine duty 6 months later, becoming Lila's full-time companion. But his impact didn't end there. Inspired by their story, Maria launched a community program pairing retired service dogs with children from broken homes. It was called Max's Mission, and it changed lives. In the end, everyone remembered the moment on that sidewalk, not because of the tears or the fear or the silence, but because of what the dog did. He saw a broken child, and he didn't walk by. He sat, he stayed, and the world changed. If this story moved you, leave a comment below with "For Max and Lila." Subscribe to Pawsitive Tales for more real stories of courage, compassion, and the incredible power of animals. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder of the good that still exists in the world.